the neighborhood Ford store. Steelers extra point. The Steelers walking away with a dub in Carolina. Here's Y.A. Black making his presence known.
Yes, he is. Big man on a mission right there. He had a heck of a day today. I got to give it up to him. Stepped up big time, man. Look at that. You love that guy's going after the ball, A.J.
Love that. Setting the tone.
Yes, absolutely.
For what will be, hopefully, the rest of the season with this defense. I'm A.J. Ross, joined by former Steeler Ramon Foster. You know, here we are, Game 3. We mentioned that this was going to be important for a lot of these guys on the roster bubble. What were your takeaways from tonight?
We saw some of those guys step up. We saw Y.A. Black step up, especially when we saw Derek Harmon go down, too. You needed that reaction out of him. The response out of him was big, too. And as of late, too, watching Trey Sermon reel off a couple of big runs, too, in the second half. Those types of guys right there have to make plays. So it's kind of ecstatic to see them capitalize on those moments given to them and provided by the team. That's what you're looking for in these type of moments. What will guys do when they know their back's up against the wall? And you got young guys doing those types of things. So I enjoy watching that.
Absolutely. A lot of depth, as you mentioned, at the running back position, wide receiver position. We have Missy Matthews actually standing by with Scotty Miller.
Scotty, take me through the end of the first half.
Yeah, there was 15 seconds left, so we just kind of drew up a play on the sidelines. Arthur Smith kind of drew it up, just told me to run a little bench pump. And I didn't really think it was going to be there because I thought they were just going to be playing off, but they gave us a good look for it. Skylar just laid it up there for me, and I came down with it, so it was a pretty cool moment.
What have you seen from Skylar Thompson throughout this whole process and him getting more opportunities?
Skylar's just a ball player. He makes plays. He's out there almost just playing backyard football, checking plays at the line. So we all love playing with Skylar. We trust him, so it's been a good experience with him.
What was it like getting those points at the end of the first half? Coach Tomlin was mad about the penalties, but said that was the highlight. You guys were able to rebound in the second.
Yeah, I don't think we played a great first half. We heard about it in the locker room, but we got a little momentum boost there at the end of the half, and it's always good to do that, and then you can double up, get the ball back the second half, and score again.
Lastly, we talked to Aaron Rodgers during the game and was talking about how fast you are, how you just fly around there. What has it been like working with him?
It's been amazing. It's been a blessing. Just super fortunate to get to play alongside him. He's one of the best to ever do it, so just trying to soak up as much knowledge as I can from him. He's the same way. He's just a ball player. He's just out there having fun. So it's been really great getting to know him.
Scotty, thanks for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks so much, Missy. That interview was presented by Ticketmaster, the official marketplace of the NFL. Visit Ticketmaster.com/Steelers. Scotty Miller is a guy that's, been with the Steelers, bounced around, came back. What does he add to that room?
You hear it right there, speed. I was actually in the pregame talking to a friend of mine on the Carolina Panthers staff. He was like, he was talking to Scotty because he walked up on us like, I see you still have that speed. And it's like, yeah, he knows what his strong suit is, and you got to live in that world and dive into it. And it's good watching him capitalize on those moments, especially at the end of the half where everybody's watching and you need a splash play. The Steelers needed that. Between he and Skylar Thompson connecting, and Skylar Thompson, oh my gosh, he's been Johnny on the spot. He probably took advantage of almost everything given to him in this preseason. But watching Scotty do that, man, I'm not sure where his positioning is with this wide receiver room that they have, but this, he's probably raised some eyebrows of some guys around this league, if not here in Pittsburgh.
Absolutely. Well, let's take a deeper look at the game summary, break down some of these numbers. Lance McCutcheon, another guy, as you talk about the receiver room, that had a big night tonight.
Yes.
Skylar Thompson again tonight, showing out with another touchdown pass. Trey Sermon also.
He did, and he came on late. Trey did right there. Going back to Skylar, too, he didn't have the turnover game again. Like that for him was a huge advantage for him. If I didn't know any better about this league, and I believe the idea that guys get fair shots, I'd almost say Skylar Thompson and Mason Rudolph are almost in a battle. I'm glad I don't have to make that decision. I'm not sure what Mason Rudolph's positioning is with this team as the number 2. But again, the Steelers at least have trade value if they choose to go with the guy like Skylar Thompson. But he's positioned himself and created value. That's the beautiful part about this game. You get what you show in this league.
Absolutely, and that's what you want to see this time of year. Iron sharpening iron.
Absolutely.
With these competitions. And Steelers fans, we want to hear from you. What are you most impressed with this preseason? Post your comments on social media with the hashtag SteelersNation, and we may feature it on our broadcast tonight. These social media posts are presented by South College, proud partner of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And we're headed to break here on the Neighborhood Ford Store Steelers Extra Point. But when we come back, we will chat it up with the guys who called the game, Bob and Charlie, right after the break. The Neighborhood Ford Store Steelers Extra Point is brought to you in part by RE/MAX Select Realty. RE/MAX, voted the most trusted real estate agents. And now it's time to bring in our teammates in the booth who called the game, Bob Pompeani and Charlie Batch. Guys, we want to hear your takeaways from tonight.
Well, I think we're going to repeat a lot of what you guys said because Skylar Thompson was outstanding this entire preseason. The confidence level that he has, Charlie, pretty amazing. And then you saw Scotty Miller just solidify his spot on this roster. Defensively, Jack Sawyer stepped up in a big way.
Yes, he did. And this is a guy they want to see part of that rotation. And this is exciting to see. And I agree with Ramon and with everything that he said about Skylar Thompson. I do believe that he is in the conversation for that potential backup job based off his play in the preseason.
All right, let's take a look at our final stats of this game, brought to you by NSS Life. NSS Life featuring low-cost life insurance and high-yielding annuities. And you can see rushing yards. Carolina, that's a little distorted because they were running the ball at the end a lot, but the passing yards heavily in favor of the Steelers. Total yards, 4 for 9, third down, but, you know, the penalties are going to be the one thing Mike Tomlin harps on.
Yeah, regardless of who's on the field, that's something you just can't beat when you're on the field. 13 penalties is way too much.
All right, now it's time for the Cleveland Brothers Quarterback Breakdown, brought to you by Cleveland Brothers. Cleveland Brothers has you covered, Pennsylvania's largest Caterpillar equipment dealer. So, Charlie, your breakdown.
Yeah, Skylar Thompson was able to deliver the football down the field. You see him connecting with Scotty Miller, connecting on this touchdown pass here, on this drive, and then this one right before the half here. Field flipping plays right here to allow 3 points to be on the scoreboard. So exciting. You can see all the excitement that he's bringing to the table, and this is just something that he just played phenomenal throughout the preseason.
I thought another guy who played very well was Lou Nichols, who had a big night. Mike Tomlin is at the podium right now, so let's take you there.
I thought we were highly penalized. We turned the ball over there early. The tackling was shaky at best at times. I think they had 100 yards rushing at the half, and that's just kind of indicative of how poor the tackling was at times. And so we got some things to work on, but it's good to do that with a victory. That's why you step into stadiums to win. Really happy for Ben Sauls. The work he was able to show us tonight, man, good for him. Had a couple of injuries of note. Derek Harmon's got a knee sprain of some description. He's being evaluated. Brandon Johnson's got a foot injury of some description. He's also being evaluated. Those are the two significant injuries. Some other bumps and bruises associated with play, but nothing of note at this point other than those two. Questions?
Mike, you like where you are? Having an ACL and
I'm sorry?
Any concern over Harmon being potentially a serious injury?
Like I said, it was a knee sprain.
Mike, you like where you are after preseason?
Doesn't matter. Hey, we're not a finished product, but no one is. I'm looking for this group to take advantage, man, of this block of time between now and the opener. And we just got to have urgency every day in the work that we prescribe for ourselves. And so that's a challenge, but it's a challenge for us. It's a challenge for everyone to continue to be a group on the rise day in and day out, although the preseason games are over.
Mike, what is it about Skylar Thompson? I mean, he's not afraid to attack. I mean, he comes in, boom, boom, boom. What do you keep seeing from him?
He's got playing experience. This guy started games in Miami, and so I think that experience shows. And we're talking regular season games.
Mike, I know there's a lot of different variables when it comes to the run game. What's missing right now? The hole's not there. They're not being hit, slipping.
I mean, we 18 for 99?
Sure.
So what do you want us?
I'm sorry. I meant earlier in the game when you have more of your first teamers out there.
The game is 60 minutes.
You got to look at some of your starters that you like?
Got a little bit. They wanted some more, but really it was just about the process. Taking them through the pregame warm-ups, man, getting them in the huddle a little bit and getting them exposed to how we communicate, let them feel that from an in-helmet perspective, less about the plays, particularly for some of the more experienced ones.
Say anything to Jalen after that tackle and penalty, or is that Jalen?
You know, I'd much rather say woe than sick 'em. I'll leave it at that.
Anyone else? All right.
Great, thanks.
Hey, and you guys are good with nobody.
That's correct.
Tomlin kind of, short there. He said he wasn't too happy, obviously, with those double-digit penalties, 13. What are your takeaways? What did you see from those and how they can be cleaned up?
Coach Tomlin has always been a coach that iterates and reiterates time and time again that penalties can't be the reason that you lose football games. And as many as they had tonight, 13 as you mentioned, that's the type of stuff that can bleed over if you allow it. His chippiness and snippy as he was right there was that frustration. I've been in those meetings where we've had those type of issues before, and it's going to be loud. He's going to be very direct, and he's going to demand a whole lot better from those guys. And as he said, too, at the beginning of it, it's not a finished product team, but you still want to play clean no matter what your presentation is when it comes down to this time of the year. It's about 2 weeks before the season kicks off. You saw a lot of the starters play tonight, and that's a part of that cohesion, too, he's speaking of when you speak about playing clean, playing together, and capitalizing on moments. This is a very fragile league when it comes down to wins and losses. He has this saying, you either drinking wine or squashing grapes. It is that fine of a line in the NFL, and penalties to negate the good, and we saw that. They had good drives offensively, holding calls, false starts. Defensively, the exact same thing. They get a third down sack or they get negativity, and then there's unsportsmanlike conduct. Those are the things right there that you can't not have when you're trying to be a world championship outfit. Coach is 100% correct in those moments right there. It's frustrating, especially when you're in the evaluation side of things.
Well, we have much more coming up on the Neighborhood Ford Store Steelers Extra Point right after this. Welcome back to the Neighborhood Ford Store Steelers Extra Point, presented by Xfinity. Stream live sports from the best seat in the house. Xfinity, bring on the good stuff. It is time now, Ramon, to revisit our Immaculate prediction. I think I jinxed you because you were 2-0, and I asked you and these fans out there, Steelers 1.5 sacks over under. You went.
I went under. I did. Can I let the people watching know something too?
Yeah, please.
You absolutely nudged me on the sideline. I was like, hey, I think we got 3 sacks on tonight, Ramon. I'm not saying you bragged a little bit, but I felt just a little bit of it, AJ. I was wrong.
I had to rub it in a little.
You did just a little bit. But look, I'm 2 for 3. That's passing. In baseball, that's Hall of Fame.
Hey, I respect it. I also respect our teammate, Missy Matthews, who's been all over the field tonight. She's standing by with Ben Sauls.
Ben, 4 for 4 along a 50. What do you think you put on tape to prove this preseason?
Well, obviously makes are important, so just seeing the ball go between the uprights 4 times and a game that was tight, it's important for me as a rookie or for any kicker in general. But yeah, seeing the ball go through and getting 4 opportunities all from different distances, that's huge at my position. I was lucky to have a beautiful night to do it, and I got a group of veteran specialists that helped me out too.
I was going to say, what is it like working with that group to have your rookie year and to start it off with that kind of intensity, and also just they know what they're doing?
It's huge. I mean, granted the job's the same. I'm still kicking field goals, but to have guys who have been there and done that for years, I mean, the age gap, I think the second youngest is 30, maybe 31. I just turned 24 a couple weeks ago. So the age gap I'm a breath of fresh air for these guys, but they've been there, they've done that. They reassure me out on the field. And to have them with me this whole way, like that's why we just got a silly picture of us, because I really appreciate what they've done for me, and they really took me in and showed me the ropes. So I'm looking forward to building that relationship further.
All right, congrats on the great night.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Missy. Ben Sauls obviously stepping up tonight, showing great range and consistency. May not have an opportunity with the Steelers, but other teams for sure on the lookout, watching across the preseason. Talk about just his performance and what these opportunities mean for guys like that.
It was good, really good, and it starts with the 5. He's making kicks from 50 and beyond. That now comes as a premium. It's also become a standard in the NFL, too. If you don't have a kicker that can bang it from 50 out, then it's problematic for you. Points are always the premium in the NFL. You look across the league at the box scores, teams are winning by 2-3 points at a time, and Ben Sauls really helped himself out, and you got to love that, too, considering the pressure that I know Coach Danny Smith put on those specialists, and also knowing this, too. He still performed while knowing this is Chris Boswell's out. outfit. That's the beauty of watching him perform in these moments right here. So it's kind of cool seeing him be a lefty, be able to adjust and kick the way he did. And more than anything, I don't know how it's going to work out for him. I don't know if he's a trade candidate or a team's waiting on him to be cut. But I do know he's earned a lot of stock in this league when it comes down to his performances, as Coach Tomlin like to say, in stadiums. That is such a good place to be at when you mention guys like him who are specialists trying to find their way. The other part also, too, for him, AJ, there's only usually one on a roster. So you never know if a guy's going to get hurt, a hamstring here or there, and your number's called. But what he's shown is there'll be a lot of evaluators seeing his tape. He'll be one of the first calls to go out.
Definitely watching his tape and some of these highlights that we saw tonight. Let's start with the Steelers' offense. There were definitely some great flashes.
It was. Absolutely.
Explosive plays.
A little running and a little catch and run right there again. They were able, Skylar was able to just deal again. Big time catch right there. A nice touch on the football in the end zone. You saw guys very static about that one. And then this right here, AJ, the end and a half. I actually thought he had more room to run. I didn't think he was touched, but I think Coach called a timeout right there to get those 3 points before the half.
Very impressive.
Absolutely love that. Look at Skylar. You gotta love that.
And on the other side, the defense.
Yes.
As you mentioned, Derek
Harmon went out a little bit
yeah.
earlier. Yes, you hated to see that, but injuries happen in the NFL again. We got an opportunity to see the secondary right there as we see James Pierre get a pick right there also I thought was caused by pressure up front. And again, the young rookies making plays time and time again. Those guys are continually stepping up and making hay for themselves around this team. This is where it happens in these preseason games. You coaches always say, as we see Big YA rub the pot belly right there, listen, if you show me in stadiums, I'm going to demand it from here on out. We see what these young rookies can do, AJ.
Absolutely. Well, we asked you, the fans, to give us your best preseason play. Big Kahuna says Skylar Thompson has been amazing. I think that's unanimous.
It is. Yes.
Portersburg says Y.A. Black definitely showed up big tonight.
He did. Absolutely love his energy.
And 304 Collector, Peyton Wilson, I really feel like he's poised for a breakout season.
He absolutely is. And again, had a big hit over on the sideline on the running back too. Smart guy, man. Peyton Wilson has the opportunity to really take a step. We heard a little bit of Patrick Queen speak about him in the pregame. When you have a veteran who's excited about a young guy, that just tells me two things. One, he knows his plays are going to free up, but he doesn't have to worry about that guy. It's one thing to play your position and teach a young guy his role and his assignments. When you unleash that guy and allow him to just go play ball, you turn into a monster yourself. I've seen this process before myself, and it's a beautiful place to be at. But the coolest part is this. They got veterans that can still assist him. It doesn't have to be Patrick Queen. He's got a veteran and linebacker coach. He's got vets all around him. And when you have guys up front, too, that support you in the run game to where you can just go side to side. It was cool hearing Patrick Queen speak about the speed that he had also. So Peyton, he should have high expectations this year. He's no longer a young guy in my books.
We're looking forward to that, and we're looking forward to you all sticking around here on the Neighborhood Ford Store Steelers Extra Point. We have much more coming up after the break. Music, ribs, and good times are coming to Acrisure Stadium with the Kickoff and Rib Festival presented by Icy Light from August 28th through September 1st. Admission is free, and there is something for everyone. Enjoy nationally ranked rib vendors, music, and more. Visit acrissurestadium.com/ribfest for details. Well, Ramon, we haven't really talked about Mason Rudolph tonight. Obviously, he had some plays I'm sure he wanted to take back, but this is a guy who has vested interest in this team, wants to prove himself yet again. When you look at his numbers tonight, and over the expanse of the preseason, where do you land on that?
Well, Mason's one of those guys, like you said, he's doubled back here in Pittsburgh. He left and came back here, man. Again, you look at the touchdowns, but, of course, none tonight but the interceptions. He had one last week also. He's got a guy that got to be poised whenever his number is called, especially with his familiarity to this team, the expectations of this team, too. And the other part for Mason is, just to be honest, he's having a guy in Skylar Thompson, albeit it's preseason, outplay him. And that's just the truth. This is a black and white league when it comes down to how you are evaluated. And he's somewhat made this a little tough on himself.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I want to go shift to the other side of the ball. Jack Sawyer is a name that we have heard quite frequently throughout the preseason. Even T.J. Watt had some very high things to say about him. Your thoughts on his play as of late?
Listen, that is a valued position on this team historically. Watching the young fella come out of Ohio State, he's big, he understands the run, he understands the hustle too. And again, the other part of it is he's going to be counted on. We hadn't seen Alex Highsmith all this preseason, and last week we got a little bit of a taste of Nick Herbig, and he was out this game too. His number will be called, and I'm glad to see him rise up to occasion. And not just that, he was at where he was supposed to be at, and he was a play or two away from a sack. I feel like 3-4 times in this Carolina game. He can really make some room for himself at that deep room that they have.
Yeah, and as we take a look at this Citizens Bank outside linebackers position room, what else do you think about these backups here?
Leota, he's one of those guys, again, he's got to beat out Jack Sawyer. He's not in a position right now. And also Julius Welshaw. Those guys got to make splash. Of this group right here, I think Jack's the first one up, and the rest of them got to figure out how they'll continue to develop to make themselves valuable to this team. Again, there is a high standard when you got T.J. Watt, former Defensive Player of the Year, and also Alex Highsmith, that when you mention his names, guys around this league understand who he is. And we hadn't even spoken about, again, Nick Herbig. He's speed, he's power off the edge, and he's made plays also when his numbers call. Those three guys are in high pressure positions right now to live up to that standard that we speak about here.
Well, we're almost out of time here on the Neighborhood Ford Store Steelers Extra Point, but when we return, we're going to look ahead to the regular season. You don't want to miss it. Stick around. Never miss a moment as a member of the Steelers Nation. We have a ton of fun new annual events planned for fans in the 2025 season. Visit our events calendar at Steelers.com/events for early access to details and tickets. And as we look ahead to the regular season, we're of course excited to see some of the big names we didn't get to see in the preseason, like Aaron Rodgers, Jonnu Smith, Jalen Ramsey, of course, can be a huge X factor on this defense. When you look at his career numbers, Ramon, I mean, what do you think he can make as far as immediate impact on this defense?
Just what we saw tonight from him, he brings an energy and a tenacity to him I don't think I've seen from DBs probably since Richard Sherman, man. Look at the amount of starts. That doesn't come easy right there, too. But the number down at the bottom for me, the all-pro seasons, that's 3. He's in that Hall of Fame conversation if you talk about numbers and Pro Bowls and interception. He's reliable. I've said this. The bigs up front usually set the tone. Watching him tonight, man, and his attitude and how he approached tackling guys, I know he got the unsportsmanlike, but he's a guy that you don't have to worry about checking that box. I think when you look at some of the guys that are on that defense, they're a little bit more chill until they get going. Jalen Ramsey never has to get told to get going, and I absolutely love that for him, watching what Darius Slay is going to bring. And again, I can't mention those guys without mentioning wanting to see the growth also of Joey Porter, like Joey Porter Jr., I guess I must say. Yes. So watching him grow with that group of experience is nothing but a positive. Of course, if everything goes right for him, the sky's the limit for that unit.
All of us like to look ahead at the schedule and, pick and choose wins, losses, try to predict the future here. As you look at this regular season schedule, what are some of the matchups that you're most looking forward to?
I think game 1, the New York Jets, that's a familiar foe right there, familiar friend, I guess, in that situation right there with Justin Fields. And then, of course, Seattle's never an easy situation right here. But you get also the Patriots, the new outfit that they have with a head coach and Mike Vrabel. That's going to be a hard-nosed, tough team. It's at New England. It's never easy, AJ, to play against that squad. And then, of course, you start after the bye week, you get into that game of Cleveland, Cincinnati. That's when you're really testing. Those games start to matter a whole lot more. So it's a fair schedule. I know they got some West Coast trips in this thing too. At L.A., I mean, that's the part of the season where guys got to start taking care of their bodies. And I don't know what it is, not skipping over Cincinnati at all. They got to come to Pittsburgh, AJ, after the fact. But that Chicago Bears game, man, playing at Soldier Field is problematic all the time. But what I'm most satisfied is I like to brag about this too, the times. I know the fans don't like this, but the players love prime time, okay? The prime time games that the Pittsburgh Steelers brand brings to you, there's an expectation to it. I think that's why you also see Omar Khan and Coach Tomlin pour into the free agents that they bought in, the trades that we never seen here. DK Metcalf. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, Jalen Ramsey, Jonnu Smith, is name after name after name, and it's not a name league, but the respect that those guys garner on the field, AJ, it can't be understated. When you walk out there with a veteran like Aaron Rodgers, if healthy, it changes the outlook on the team, the fans' perspective, and also just the expectation. I continue to say that standard is high now.
Absolutely. Well, we thank you for watching. This has been an awesome preseason with you. Your first time with us here at the Steelers preseason and Neighborhood Ford Store Steelers Extra Point. We really appreciate the team, coaches, production staff, everybody that has made this possible this season. And thank you, the fans, for watching.